everyone, welcome to the QuesterMage and welcome to today's video about Tekken 5 on the PlayStation 2. Lately I've been buying more PlayStation 2 games and one of those games that I bought was Tekken 5, and what I didn't know is that Tekken 5 includes 5 different games. And that's what I want to talk about in today's video, so please sit back, relax, click like, subscribe, and hopefully enjoy. Here we go. Like I said, lately I've been buying more PlayStation 2 games, and that's thanks to this brand new adapter by 8BitDo. Now this allows me to use my Dualshock 4 controller wirelessly on the PlayStation 2 and also my 8BitDo arcade stick. And I'm happy to say they both work pretty well, so that got me thinking, you know what, I need some more fighting games for the PlayStation 2. So I did exactly that. And like I said, one of those games that I got was Tekken 5. Now I did capture this footage by using my original PlayStation 2 hooked up with an RCA to HDMI adapter straight into a capture card. But let's get into the amount of content that's actually available in this game. Now, being Tekken 5, obviously you will have Tekken 5, the fighting game, available from the get-go. But when you first boot up the game, you will be greeted by this. This actually is not one of the 5 games that I was speaking of. I don't know if you can actually count this as a game, but a nice little feature. You have this first-person sci-fi, I guess, demo that you play before you press the start button. I thought that was a really nice little addition that I didn't know was here. And again, let me prefix this by I've never played Tekken 5 before I got this last week. This is a really fun thing to have in a startup sequence. I actually really liked it. It put a big smile on my face and it definitely welcomed me into the game. It would be nice if more companies did this sort of thing today. But once we get past this little segment, we press the start button and then we get into the main menu. And obviously being Tekken 5, you will be able to play Tekken 5 itself. And as you can see here in the main menu, there are quite a few different modes available from the get-go. We have Story Battle, Arcade Battle, Time Attack, Versus Battle, Team Battle, Survival, Practice. The next two I'll speak about a little bit later, Customize and Options. So what does Tekken 5 actually look like on the PlayStation 2? Well, that's what you're seeing here on screen. This is the main mode that more than likely most of you will be playing. I really like the game. I think it works pretty well. I like Tekken. I played Tekken 2 and 3 for quite a while, and Tekken 5, I have to say, is a really good fighting game. I can't wait to learn and try to get better at this game by playing it more and more. I'm not very good at it, as you're seeing on screen, but it is a really fun experience nonetheless. Again, hopefully I get better at it the more I play it. So when you select Arcade Battle, as you can see from the beginning, we have 20 characters to pick from. Now, I don't know if all those question marks are characters that we can unlock. Again, I've never played this game before, therefore, I don't know. If you do know, please let me know down in the comments. I think it's a good amount of characters to have from the beginning to start playing the arcade mode or the story mode. So that is the main game you are getting with Tekken 5. But let's go back to one of these elements here in the main menu. Let's see what that arcade history option is. As you can see at the bottom, it says play the arcade versions of the early Tekken series. When I saw that, I was pretty happy. As you can see on screen, you actually get Tekken 1, 2, and 3, the arcade versions of those games in Tekken 5. So far, that means we are getting 4 games in this collection. Now, you will be seeing that the screen is flickering in and out, and that's my capture card dealing with the RCA to HDMI adapter. So let's start with Tekken 1. In Tekken 1, we have 8 characters to pick from. And as you can see, it is the arcade version of Tekken 1, which I'd never ever played before. To be fair, I've never actually played any of the arcade versions of Tekken. I just played Tekken 2 and 3 on the PlayStation 1. Graphically, obviously it's an older game, and I don't know if it's because of the setup or not that I have. It didn't graphically look great, it looked a little bit grainy, and sometimes I can see some screen tearing, but overall this is a really good option to have in this game. You can play Tekken 1, which is great. Now, to my surprise, we actually also have some dip switch settings for all 3 arcade games. So here are the dip switch settings for Tekken 1. I'll show them for Tekken 2 as well. We have switch test, as you can see here. I have no idea what all of that is, but it's nice to have the settings. Here you can change the difficulty level, how many rounds you have. We have this polygon test, and then we have a color test and a convergence test. So nice to have all these options here for Tekken 1, 2, and 3. So let's jump to Tekken 2 and see what that looks like in this collection. The first thing that caught my eye is it says Tekken 2, and I think that's version 3, possibly the latest version, ? Let me know in the comments if you know whether it is or isn't. But nice to see again, and at the bottom we see 3 different years, which leads me to conclude that this is indeed the 3rd version, 1994, 1995, and 2005. That's quite a long time after. So what do we get with Tekken 2, the arcade game? From the get-go, we see that we have 10 characters that are available to be selected, but if we keep on going to the right-hand side, we can see more. That's 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23 characters that are available. Now, I don't know if all these were available in the arcade or not, or if it's just for version 3, but nice to see a lot more selection when it comes to characters in the game. The game runs really well. I think it's really fun to play. I'll definitely be playing Tekken 2, the arcade game, much more now that I have this collection. And I think this is a really, really cool thing to have. We can almost play every game up to Tekken 5. Obviously, Tekken 4 is not included, but it is nice to have Tekken 1, 2, 3, and 5, and one more game, which we'll get to after talking about Tekken 3. But before we get to Tekken 3, let's take a look at those dip switch settings that are available for Tekken 2. So the main screen looks pretty much the same, but when we go to game options, we can see that there are quite a few more options here in Tekken 2, which is really cool. I've mentioned on the channel several times, I love it when games or compilations or collections have this sort of stuff in there. And I just really wanted to talk about this, as there might be people out there that don't know, like I didn't, that Tekken 5 has all this content. And I think it's such a good collection of games to have. I'm very, very happy with it. So let's go to Tekken 3. I will mention here, to get out of these games, you have to press the start and select button at the same time. And if you do get this game, or you have this game already, you will see that it's actually kind of difficult to back out into the main menu. You see me trying this several times. But if you just keep doing it, you will find that you will back out into the game selector for Tekken 1, 2, and 3, and you will be able to just select the next one. So here's Tekken 3. It looks pretty much like I remember on the PlayStation 1, but graphically, obviously better, as this is the arcade version. So how many characters do we have here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. We have 18 characters available from the beginning of the game. I don't know if there are any unlockable characters in any of these 3 games, but hopefully there are. 18 characters is not bad, and here we are, look at it, it's Tekken 3. I remember playing this game so much back in the day. I really, really enjoyed this game. Look how good it looks on the PS2. Even though I'm not outputting this with composite cables straight into HDMI, which I think would be the best way to do this, I still think it looks really good from RCA to HDMI. It really takes me back to playing this game on PlayStation, but I'm so happy to have the arcade version, and this game, together with number 2, I am going to be playing a lot, and just trying to improve as much as I can. So how are we now at this point with this game? We have Tekken 5, Tekken 1, Tekken 2, Tekken 3, the arcade games. So what is the 5th game? Well, going back to that main menu, you will see this option, Tekken Devil Within. And underneath it says, this is a 3D action-adventure game where Jin learns more about his past. This really surprised me. Now, bearing in mind I was already surprised with the 3 arcade games, but having a beat-em-up in this game, even though it says an action-adventure game, it does really play like a beat-em-up, was a massive surprise. Now I'm going to skip through all the intro stuff, because if you want to see that, I'll allow you to see that when or if you get the game, or if you have the game already. But this is probably the last thing I would expect to play in Tekken 5. Look at it. It really looks like a 3D beat-em-up. And we're playing as Jin, running around. And you're using some of the moveset that you have in the fighting game itself. I could not believe that this was included in this game. And I've never really heard anyone talking about it, whether it be the 3 arcade games or this action-adventure game that is included. So here we are, we have Tekken 5 on the PlayStation 2 with 5 games available from the get-go. And also the sci-fi little demo that you have on the start menu. As soon as I played this and I saw all these games, I knew I wanted to make a video about it. I love retro games, and I'm so happy that I got this 8-bit adapter, as it really got me to looking into buying more fighting games for the PlayStation 2. Now, this is one of several games that I picked up in the last 2 weeks. Most of them are fighting games, but this one really stood out to me. I didn't expect it to be a collection, and I really want to talk about it, because if there are people out there that don't know that this game houses so much content, I really wanted to let you know. I'm so happy to have Tekken 1, 2, 3, the arcade games, and Tekken 5 in my collection, but this beat 'em up really, really surprised me in a great way. I love game collections, I love retro games, and this is now one of my favourite games on the PlayStation 2. Do you have Tekken 5 for the PlayStation 2? Did you know that all these features were in the game? Do you not have Tekken 5 on a PlayStation 2? Did you not know this game had all these features in this game? Please let me know down in the comments. Let's have a conversation about it. Again, I'm super happy with it, and I'm glad that this has so much content. But that's going to do it for today's video. Thank you very much again for watching. If you like what I do here, please click that like button down below. Helps out the channel a lot. And if you want to see more, please click that subscribe button, as that is the only way this channel can grow. Now, I hope you liked this video, and I hope to see you in the next one. And until then, thanks again.